How we doing, everybody? Good to be here. Um, I had some pretty deep thoughts, and I thought that I would share them with you tonight, and hopefully, we get to chat about it, whatnot. If not, I guess you can catch the replay, and that's fine. But um, I I wanted to say that I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I managed to get through. Um, I managed to get through because okay, I hate birthdays, right? I think they're fucking ridiculous, you know. So uh, I if it wasn't for other people reminding me that my birthday is coming up or that I have one, I wouldn't remember it at this point in my life, to be honest. Um, so, but uh, now, a couple of people posted on Facebook or whatnot and posted on my timeline, that it was my birthday yesterday. And I was like, fuck, shit, and all you can do is kind of like say thank you. And, because it's nice. I'm not going to lie. It's really nice that people think of you in that way. It's nice that people remember you and people think of you. So, that was actually a really nice feeling. I don't like to think about my birthday for some reason. I've got a weird irk about it. Um, but my mom sent me a really nice card. And that was nice. And my brother sent me a book. Um, and it's you know, and my roommate's mom uh, gave me a little weed pipe. You know, because I don't have one and I don't smoke that much, but I'm always borrowing hers when I do. So she thought it would be easier to just get me my own, So that was nice and convenient, and it was pretty sweet that I was able to, you know, kind of kiss the sky before I started this broadcast. Um, so anyway, uh, we're gonna talk about a few things here. What's up, Manon? How you doing? Uh, I think you're the only one here, but that's all right. Like I said, everybody else can kind of catch the replay if they want. Um, because I'm not even sure a lot of people get notifications. But then again, it is 11:30 on a Sunday night, so kids are starting school, people are going to bed early. I get it; it's totally cool. But this just means that I won't be quite as distracted. So, yeah. So anyway, I managed to uh, elude everyone that it was my birthday. Like anybody there who I don't share social media with directly, pretty awesome actually. And actually some people did. Like there's like yeah, I managed to keep it from even my mods. And that was fun. And I kept it from everyone at my job. Because the last thing I wanted was to walk into work and awkwardly have to stand there while they sing happy birthday and just give out a bunch of cupcakes when I'm trying to diet and I work in a gym. So I dodged that bullet, which is good because everyone loves cake. I like cake. I love fucking cake. But the thing about birthdays, though, man, they're weird. Okay, they're weird because they have these weird traditions. We're gonna go into some of these weird traditions tonight, but um, this this thing with the birthdays, I kind of get the whole metaphorically just blowing out the candles, setting up candles in the birthday cake and blowing it out. If I had to guess, I don't know the origin of that tradition, but if I had to guess, it had something to do with, since you're supposed to put the number of how old you are, the number of years you were on the planet. I guess you're blowing over those years because they're gone. So you're blowing out those years and you're moving on to the next, right? So, but the problem with that shit is, when I was a kid, I would go to birthday parties and like some, I'd be all excited to eat the cake, and everybody's there for the fucking cake. Everybody's there for the parents are there for the fucking cake. Parents are there for the cake. They're not there so the kids can have a nice time. They're there for the fucking cake. Period. And so I know that I watch these kids, and every time I see a fucking kid blow out candles, they spit all over the fucking cake, and you gotta eat it afterwards, or else you're being rude, because sometimes the mom made the cake or the kid's grandma made the cake, and every time they blow out the candles, they spit all over the fucking cake. And it's gross. And it's gross. And they do it right in front of everybody. And what does everybody fucking do? They clap. They clap when you spit all over the fucking cake. Right? And, and so you got to eat this shit. And it's gross. It's gross to me. You know? And kids, man, they're just spreading germs. And then the kid gets sick and he can't go to school on Monday because he went to the party on Saturday. And you know, and they're like, oh, he was at a party, and kids, they just spread germs around. Well, having a kid fucking blow his fucking snotty fucking saliva germs all over the fucking cake that everybody's about to eat is probably a good way to help avoid, an outbreak of fluenza. It's probably a good idea to try to avoid that shit because it's fucking gross. Um, so yeah. So anyway, um, I'm gonna talk a little bit tonight about something that is kind of on my mind. I'm sure it's always on most people's minds, more or less. So if uh, if you guys hadn't noticed yet, I'm naturally the type of guy who seems to love bringing up the elephant in the room that nobody ever wants to talk about. Okay, it's not intentional. It's not intentional. I swear. But I just seem to have a way of looking at things from what I feel is a logical perspective. And I guess we all do. We all have that where we think we're right. It's just how we're built. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I like it when it's not the norm, and it kind of pisses narrow-minded folks off, or the who lean more towards the narrow-minded at least. I like when it's a subject that seems to have a black, white, and even a gray side to it. But I feel that I like to throw a little color on something that most folks are either too close-minded to handle it when there's a new way to look at things, or they simply can't seem to compute that there's more than just their perspective, just their perspective, and and can make just as much sense, if not more sense, than what they're used to thinking. And I get that, man. I get that. We all get in our little comfort zones, and we like to stay there because it's fucking comfortable, right? So, when something tries to infiltrate our comfort zone, right? We kind of freak out a little bit and we reject it, right? We just reject it. It's what we naturally do. It's what organisms do, so it's a very natural thing, you know. So, we have these things that we strongly believe in. We have our values and our morals, but we don't consistently follow them, do we? We're real quick to say what we believe in, but we don't really ask ourselves why we believe so strongly in what we believe in, do we? We usually take what we're taught and drilled into our brains our whole lives, and just kind of trust it to be the right thing. Usually because it's taught to us by the people we trust the most, our elders. Maybe that's why we don't seem to be evolving as a species at the rate we feel we should be. What if the norm became to start teaching our youth to apply critical thinking and question the norm? What if we had an entire generation who collectively had the mindset that we as individuals can take accountability for our own actions, not out of fear of punishment of a damn soul in the afterlife that burns in a lake of fire for all eternity, or trapped in a purgatory where you no longer or never did actually matter, you know, not exactly out of fear of disappointing ourselves, but of the drive to simply be better individuals for the sake of improving our immediate environment. Wanting to be the best individuals that we can each be in order to do our part to make the people in our lives feel more pleasant. Using our personal environments to make the environments of others more pleasant, right? What a wild fucking concept, right? Pretty fucking wild. Now, I'm obviously being sarcastic, but realistically, it is a wild concept to so many, isn't it? You know, the idea of putting more faith into yourself than a god or force of some kind. To so many, it's actually considered blasphemous. Why is that? Control, maybe? This is what I'd like to explore tonight, okay? After so many centuries and so many scientific discoveries and advancements, how have we not collectively evolved past this as a species? Now, I've made no secret that I'm, no scholar. I'm not a very well educated guy. That's very, very true. And I'm not gonna dive deep into these discoveries and advancements because, quite frankly, I'm not educated enough to do so. I'm just gonna share my thoughts on this shit and see what you guys think in the chat. You know, and I realize it's a sensitive subject for some, but I'm not going to apologize for exploring it. I believe it to be a subject we all think about, and I want to fucking talk about it. And I I feel comfortable talking about it. So I think you guys will too. Now, at least the people in the chat so far. So by the way, let me say hi to. I said hi to Manon. How you doing again, Megan, Amy? Some of my favorites. Now, I'm going to prepare you because I know some of you guys turn roll your eyes at anything biblical, right? But hear me out. I'm making a point here, so I'm going to read a passage from the Bible. Um, it is from the Book of Kings, and it goes, "And the word of the Lord came to him. What are you doing here, Elijah?" He replied, "I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, torn down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the sword. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too." The Lord said, "Go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by." Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. And when Elijah heard it, He pulled his cloak over his face and went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. Then the voice said to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Pretty deep shit, right? So, someone very close to me, who I respect deeply, sent this to me when I told them that I was planning on doing this particular live. I didn't understand it at first. Uh, I even asked them to explain it to me because I didn't understand the connection between this verse and my live and what I was talking about here. And the way that they put it was that many people see this passage to mean that God is not being necessarily, he's not necessarily responsible for natural disasters, but more like God being there at the end of it all, right? You know, so I get it. It's a very very nice sentiment, but I must have read this thing like 10 times, and I kind of got something. I kind of got something else out of it, and it's not to debunk that, because I get that it makes a lot of sense. Words. Our favorite songs, like a good poet and a good lyricist will write something that is very specific, but it can metaphorically relate to each person listening to it on a personal level. And that's the beauty of art. It's a beautiful thing. Um, but what I got of it was more like that Elijah was merely humbly accepting God for what God was, with pure faith driving him to do so, right? If God was burning the world down, then you know, then God had to have had his or her reasons for doing so. And as this, tiny speck of all existence, this far beyond microscopic role of not even close to a child in the perspective of all things. And when I say all things, I include what exists and what we could not possibly fathom yet. I'm including possibility as well. Um, so think about that for a second. Think about how small you must be in the sum of all things we know, as well as the things we don't. And if you think about it, everything functions in perfect harmony with something else, right? If you really think deeply about it, we're all connected in some way. Um, much like a clock, right? If one small part of a clock malfunctions, the whole clock does. That's how important each and every one of us is. And I truly, honestly believe that. And I think Elijah in this passage believed this on a level that none of us are ready for, right? He was afraid of death by the hands of his enemies, but at peace with dying at the hands of his God. Why? Why? Because he felt that he would fail his God and the task given to them, I think, right? He feared failing his people, yet willing to sacrifice himself in order to succeed for them. Now, I don't buy into this kind of shit on a literal level. You know, I, I, I try to take what's put in my face and learn from it. Well, I mean, how do I do that, right? I question it. It's the basic formula to solving a problem, right? It's to assess it, troubleshoot, find a possible solution, and apply it until you come up with the one that works, right? So that's what I basically do when it comes to understanding the grand scheme of things, I guess. I'm not sitting here implying that I've got the answers, because just like everyone else, I'm not even fucking close. I'm not even trying to pretend to be anything near being even fucking close. The closest thing to a conclusion that I've come to is that anything beyond anything beyond me and what I do with my own shit is way above my pay grade, man. All I know is that since I've been trying to work that angle functioning on this rock, my shit has gotten a little bit better, but also good enough to where I can see it getting a hell of a lot better if I stay this course. Yeah, happiness is a dope thing, man. It seriously is, man. Happiness is pretty fucking fantastic. We all want it, you know. Sometimes we find happiness in being unhappy, but it's it's something we all want, And once I tasted a little of it, I just wanted more. So I started maneuvering shit around in my head, so I can keep it going. But again, I don't have it all figured out. I just do the best I can, like anybody else. But the thing about that verse in the Bible, and like just about any other one, is that it's metaphorical. They're good, solid stories, but they aren't to be taken literally. At least not in my opinion. It's a guideline, nothing more. A handbook to better understanding your place in the world and not being a shitbag in it. See, I'm honestly not religious at all. I'm not even against organized religion. I know people whose lives it saved. I know fantastic people who I'm proud to call friends and even family that apply a certain faith to their lives, to how they behave in relationships and raise their children. And execute their jobs every day. And it fucking works. And for a lot of people, it doesn't. It simply doesn't. You know, take a terrorist who happens to be a radical Muslim, right? Is a terrorist who happens to be a radical Christian any different? Such as a Klan member or a neo-Nazi. See, the thing I find so fascinating about all these different religions and faiths is that if you look at all of them from an outside perspective, they all basically teach the same morals, don't they? I mean, that's fair to say, isn't it? They're all talking about the same things. They all agree that nature and God are the same, that they're one, right? Yet all through history, you've got them all fighting and killing each other in the name of spreading the word of their God all over the world. Actually, to my knowledge, only Christians really did that. It was called the Crusades. But I could be wrong about that too. I was a rookie pot smoker and stoned all through my world history class, and I fucking flunked it anyway, so I don't even really know. You know, my point is that mankind used and perverted the idea of faith and love for the universe in order to gain power, land, and money, and this became the norm. It happens all the time, all around us, still to this day. I see it every time I'm flipping through the channels looking for something to watch, and I happen across the Christian channel. I see that shitbag Pat Robertson promoting Trump. What the fuck does politics have to do with my personal relationship with my God? Right? I see TD Jakes wearing a $5,000 suit and a shiny Rolex in a so-called church the size of a sports arena, telling people to pay their tithes. I see Joel Osteen Osteen or whatever the fuck his name is, running his mouth about Jesus and how we need to live our lives according to his example just before he jumps in his own private jet that flies him to his own stretch limo, driving his high and mighty hypocritical ass to his $10.5 million mansion. You know, dude, according to history and the Bible, Jesus was the coolest, most laid back dude ever, right? He had it figured out, man. Just don't be a dick and take care of each other. It's not complicated. But then people fucking dumb as we are started idolizing him back then. He never said not to worship idols, you know? Well, he did say not to worship idols. And people are like, no, that means statues and shrines and stuff. No, asshole. It means people too. And yes, gods. And while you're so busy worshiping someone who's dead, basically because of people like you back then, and because it was 2,000 years ago, you fail to understand the point of all of it. It was his teachings that matter. Now, do I think Jesus walked on water and turned water into wine and cured a blind man and a leper and brought a dude back from the dead? Not really. I mean, I wasn't there and nobody fucking caught it on video, so I don't know. But logic to me dictates that those are just tales designed to sell people so they'd go to church and give up their cash. Did Jesus actually rise from the dead 3 days after he was murdered? Personally, I don't literally think so. I don't think so that he did that literally, no. Logic to me dictates that it's merely a metaphor designed to imply that you can kill the man, but if you leave a mark on this earth, your legacy lives on. Your teachings live on. And there's no fucking way this dude had blonde hair and blue eyes and white skin, dude. You know what I mean? It's geographically fucking impossible. You know, is it so hard to believe that King James or whoever else in a position of power had the scriptures rewritten in order to benefit themselves? Think about how often this could have and most likely did fucking happen, right? You know, the truth diluted over hundreds and hundreds of years. And in the midst of all of this, we as a species missed the whole fucking point. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and presume to know what the whole point is, but it makes sense to me to be humble and worry about myself and my own environment while just trying to improve as a man and a human being. I mean, there's great stories in this thing, man. You know, look at the story of David. There's all kinds of shit to learn, you know, when you read about that dude. He was a dick, but he was a poet and a beautiful one. A beautiful one at that. Manson was a singer-songwriter. it's, it's funny. I'm currently watching Mindhunter, right? Because, man, I love that fucking show. And season 2 just came out, and it's so good. Like, season 2 so far, I'm only on episode 6 right now, but season 2 so far is even better than season 1. I mean, it's pretty fucking incredible. I'm pretty blown away by it. And so, you know, there is this scene, right? You know, spoiler alert, but sorry. You know, where the FBI are listening to a tape of one of Manson's songs. And the only reason I knew it was him was because I like to watch stuff, you know, with the captions, with the subtitles when I'm watching stuff like that. Um, just in case I miss something. Somebody mumbles or something like that. That always happens. But anyway, you know, the captions, it said Charles Manson, you know, and whatever the fuck the song title was. playing. And I thought to myself, shit, it's really not bad. And then right after I thought that, one of the characters on the show, one of the agents, said almost verbatim the same thing, like right after I thought it, and I fucking started laughing. It was really funny to me, and it reminded me that people who do terrible things are often capable of doing beautiful things, whether we like it or not. So knowing this fact, I personally I try to find the beauty in everything. Right? When I'm pissed, I try to find something positive in what I'm pissed about. It doesn't always happen, of course, but I can honestly say that I try, and when I do that, I can honestly say that it makes me happy. I try not to be like everyone else. I try to take pride in my individuality, and I try to express it. I mean, hence why I have this channel. You know, why I played a little music when I was younger. I like to entertain. When I'm able to make something near me laugh, you know, whether it be a child, a grown up, whatever, anyone, I get a great feeling inside, you know? I mean, is there no better feeling, right? than when you see a kid crying and then you can like make them laugh, you know, right in the middle of them crying, right? The kids just fucking bawling, and then somehow you make them laugh. And a lot of the times, what they do is they like get mad at you because you made them laugh, and they were just trying to be, they were getting that attention from crying, and you just broke that shit because these kids a little bit better than they know themselves because you remember being a kid, and but you know their their moods shift right then and there. Like you watch that happen, and their face lights up. And what do? Involuntarily, every fucking time, what do? Involuntarily, they wipe their tears off their face, and I feel like that's out of gratitude. They know, even as children, they know deep down you're a good person who hates to see them hurting. That it hurts you. And that's their way of just kind of sucking it up and kind of letting you know, hey, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt, cousin, big sis, big bro, BFF, right? I'm good now. Don't worry about me anymore. So that kind of shit keeps me going, man. You know, knowing that most of us are born with this beautiful nature to want to be the best people we can be for the good of ourselves and the ones we love, right? This fucking killing each other in the name of a particular faith, man. That's crazy. That's some crazy bullshit. Think about it. Why the fuck is it so hard to see that all these faiths originating in all different regions of the world teach the same moral code? The only difference between them, any of them, all of them, are simply the traditions and practices of these faiths based on their region, based on their geographical placement. That's it. So no, I'm not religious. I don't believe in a religion, right? But I do believe in the root moral code that all religions share. And doing so just naturally makes me happy, man. My mom still to this day, she's a devout Catholic. My brother and his family are too, you know, but they're very logical people. To them, they try to live by this moral code, but they practice the traditions. It's what they were raised on. I was raised on it, but I just never took to it. I just didn't. My brother got his first communion when he was a little kid. I didn't get my first communion. Uh, it was schoolwork to it, and I didn't like doing the schoolwork to it. That's all it was. That's all it was. They make you take a test, and I just didn't want to do it. I'm gonna take a second here, look at the chat. Wow, see who's in here. White Rose, what's up? There's Irish. First of all, I don't know if this is sarcastic or not, White Rose, but you said I don't know if Jesus loves non-Christians. Well, Jesus was a Jew, so I don't know what to tell you about that. Um, let's see. Sorry, this chat is very interesting. Yeah, no, Amy, I'm totally with you, man. Mindhunter is dope. I'm so into it right now. I like as soon as I'm done with this, like I'm putting on another episode. I think I'm gonna probably finish the season tonight. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna finish. I'm gonna catch up all on it tonight. So I'm with you on that. Wow. Hey, so yeah, White Rose, man. I can see that you're serious, and that's cool, you know. Um, and and you're either a troll or you're serious. But if you're a troll, you're a pretty good one. So good for you. Way to do that. Way to. um, but yeah. See, that's one thing about. See, you're saying, does Jesus love this and does Jesus love that? Well, I think the whole point, the whole idea behind Jesus is that he loves everyone unconditionally, right? Isn't that the argument? You can't sit there and who the fuck are you or anybody else to say what somebody else loves or doesn't love, especially someone who supposedly you worship. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all whatsoever. That's the dumbest shit that I've ever fucking heard, to be honest. You know, that's some that's some presumptuous bullshit right there, actually. That you're gonna speak for somebody else about how they feel. The fuck out of here. And you're gonna speak. You're a believer in Jesus and all the things that other people believe Jesus about, and you're gonna sit here and have the fucking audacity to speak for him. Who the fuck is you? Seriously. Did you not hear the part where I was just explaining like how fucking minuscule we are in the grand scheme of all things? Just the things that we fucking know about. Let's just talk just the things that we know about, right? Fuck fuck the quantum physics side of it, right? The things that we can physically see with our eyes, touch with our hands, hear with our ears, and the shit that's in outer space. You know, we've been out there too. Fuck. How tiny we are, and you have the nerve to speak for the Almighty? Shit. Good luck with that. Hey, no, White Rose, bless you. God bless you. And I mean that. And I'm not even being sarcastic. I absolutely mean that. God bless you. But I mean, look, I again, man, I don't know, man. But that's my point. Is like realistically, common sense dictates that I don't fucking know. So how the fuck am I gonna talk like I know the Almighty, right? The so-called Almighty, the Lord, the Lord all God, the maker, creator of all things. Wow. Yeah. See, this is an example. See, if Rose is for real and White Rose is not a troll, then this is an example of what I'm talking about. This is that comfort zone. You see how how this person is listening to the channel but blocking out every single thing I say. Now, is it because I'm making sense? That's a question. Because a lot of people, when they're in their comfort zone and then something comes up that contradicts what they think and it actually makes sense, what it does is it scares the shit out of them, right? It happens to all of us. It happens to all of us, right? It's just the way that is, you know. So we choose not to hear it, choose not to listen. And White Rose, I'm glad you feel comfortable here. I'm glad you feel comfortable here because we want you to feel comfortable here. I want you to feel comfortable here. Everyone is welcome on my channel. Everybody. So, you're not causing any trouble. You're free to say whatever you want. And you seem to be handling anything that I say back at you very well and more than respectfully. So I'm grateful for that. So thank you very much for that. And I'm gonna actually, as a favor, I'm gonna ask people not to taunt her. Ask questions. You have an opportunity here, right? Don't taunt her because of what she believes in, because she hasn't insulted anyone. She really hasn't. So let's be fair, right? Give her a chance, you know, and actually take the opportunity. If you don't understand her or where she's coming from, rather than laughing and making fun of her, then maybe ask her some genuine questions. Try to understand her a little bit. Wouldn't that be the right way to go? At least I think so. But yeah, you're absolutely welcome here. And if Jesus is with you, then right on. Jesus is with you. You know, and I'm not laughing at you. I'm thinking about how great that is. If that's actually true, then that is fantastic. It's great. But I want to be completely honest with you too. I respect your beliefs, but I have a way that I talk on my channel, and I'm going to talk the way that I do on my channel, and I'm not going to censor myself, and I'm not going to hold my opinions, because just as you're welcome to say whatever you like here and ask whatever questions you like here, you better believe that I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want here, and I'm going to ask whatever fucking questions I want. And again, if you notice, that's why I asked my friends in the chat to be respectful, but I'm not telling them to be respectful, you know. It's, so, but I would appreciate it, guys, if you were respectful. So, hey, what's up, AJ? Hey, what's up, Michelle? It's good to see you. And yeah, man, Irish is in the house. Dude, I gotta tell you. All right, so I'm gonna go a little off track here and talk about my mod team, right? So me and my mod team, we have we have our own little chat, right? And it's I'll tell you, it's rarely channel related. It's rarely channel related. Um, we uh we have a lot of fun, and it's me, Shannon, Minon, Irish, and Danielle, right? And we usually, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually, group chats just get on my fucking nerves. They get on my last fucking nerve. Because there's always a notification, bing, 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 right? But I actually get excited. I actually get excited when I get a notification because all right, let me try to how do I describe my mod team? Um, I have to. My mod team is all right. Rough description. If you were to take Darla from the movie Fight Club and split her in four, that's my mod team. Um, the the funniest shit, dude. The funniest little element to me is Irish because Irish is like she's like, you know what she's like, because she goes under because she's always getting put in Facebook jail, right? So we talk on Facebook Messenger, right? And she's always getting thrown in fucking Facebook jail. And so she'll have a new profile with some weird name and no picture all the time, right? But she's like a verbal assassin at the same time. so like it's like having Snake Eyes from GI Joe. Except the opposite, except you can't see her, but you could hear her, kind of. So yeah, it's fair to say that Irish is one of my favorite fucking people, and I love having her on my mod team. Um, oh shit, Ashley's in the house. What's up, Ashley? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna get back into this. All right. So Amy, you just made a very very wonderful point. Um, that Jesus had befriended Mary Magdalene and spent time with lepers, the poor, and the non-believers. Um, Now, the thing about that, though, what bugs me is like when you watch movies and you read about them in like the modern, in these modern Bibles, you know, he's always this. He's this humble dude, but he's real pretentious about being humble, and he's still talking down to fucking everybody. And I just don't buy that. I don't buy that a God, a loving, nurturing God, right? Um, practices that whole do as I say, not as I do bullshit way of running things. You know, anytime anybody here has had a fucking boss that had a do as I say, not as I do way of running things, you walked right the fuck out and you quit that fucking job. Fuck that guy. Because that shit doesn't work. It doesn't work because you can't lead people that way. Leaders don't do that. Not real leaders. Leaders don't do that. So I don't buy that portrayal of Jesus. Not even historically. You know, I think of Jesus as a guy who just kind of had this cool way of getting along with everybody. And he knew how to talk to people. He knew how to treat them with respect, and people gravitated towards that. That's the kind of Jesus that I like to envision. You know, I don't buy this whole, uh, you know, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I call bullshit on that. You know, I think I think that Jesus when he would refer to himself as the Son of God, it wasn't in the sense that he was the one and only Son of God sent from here to look down and talk down to all of us and tell us what to do. That's not what I believe. I believe what he meant by that was he was a human like any one of us. We were all sent here as the Son of God. That's my personal belief, right? That we were all sent here as the Son of God. Jesus understood this and he tried to spread the message. And it made a lot of sense to a lot of people. And and that's the kind of Jesus I like to picture in my head, you know. And yes, Michelle, he washed the feet of the poor. I'd like to see Joel Osteen doing that shit. Jim Baker, fucking Jimmy fucking Swaggart. Yeah, I've been watching these guys my whole life, you know, and I have yet to see one, you know. Like I'm gonna listen to the guy walking around homeless with a sign that says the end is near before and take him more seriously than I'm gonna take any of those guys I see on TV. You know? Front 242. Listen to you, Amy. Yo, I got the coolest people in my chat. And AJ finally made it, man. That's really cool. I know I make these late, AJ. I know, man. But I'm glad you're here. It's awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, Manon. I mean, you know, that's. I mean, what does that say? What does that say about somebody who says, "Well, Jesus doesn't love this or Jesus doesn't love that"? These people over here Jesus loves, but these people over here Jesus doesn't. Well, let me ask you something, White Rose. If that's the case, let me ask you something. If you have multiple children, are you going to love some of these and not some of those? Is that how you parent? Because I fucking call bullshit on that. Because here's the thing, I don't think that that's the case. That's my point. I think the case is that you love all your children equally if you have more than one child. You love all your children equally. So I think it's blasphemous of you to say that Jesus only loves a select few of his own children. I think that's something you should think about. Yeah, I know hell is a scary place, White Rose. I've been there. A lot of us have. Yeah, love is absolutely unconditional. Real love is absolutely unconditional. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Is love unconditional? That's ridiculous. You know? If God forbid one of my children killed somebody in cold blood and they went to prison, guess what? I'm still going to be their dad. Still going to love them. It's not going to change the fact that I'm their dad. It's not going to change. So yes, true love is unconditional. Yes, without question. Next question. Well, Manon, in the interest of philosophy, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. You can't say hell is scary, but some things on earth are scarier because technically you've never been to hell, at least not to your knowledge. So you can't honestly make a statement like that. Yo, now I don't even know what you're talking about, White Rose. Will the children be alive to love? What does that mean? What does that mean? And I want to go ahead and say that I really appreciate everybody in this chat being respectful and being cool. This is if any live that I do or that I've done so far is gonna ruffle feathers, man. It's probably this one so far. Anyway, I'll probably find a way to outdo myself, but uh, this one, you guys really did all right, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. I really, really, really uh, love my listeners. So you've heard people go to hell and come back Christian? Yeah, sure they do. Yeah. See, the thing is this is where you and I disagree, White Rose, because I discussed it earlier. Maybe you just kind of logged on. It's possible that you logged on and you missed what I said. But what I was talking about earlier was that it's not it's not that I don't believe in Christianity. I just don't believe in the Christianity that it's become today in the mainstream, for lack of a better term. So no, no, I don't believe the way that traditional Christianity is being expressed in today's world, because it's hypocritical, because it's contradictory. But I don't have a problem with the belief itself. I don't have a problem uh, with people wanting to be more like Christ. But I do have a problem with people who use Christ in order to mask some ugliness inside them, and use Christ and the Christianity faith to as some sort of deterrent from who they really are, that they don't want to deal with and correct when there's something clearly wrong and it hurts others. Something as small as judgment and the inability to not judge others. Something even that small. So yes, I have a problem with that. Um, but if you're asking me if I'm a Christian, well, shit, man, I'm a Christian in the real sense of the term, in the true sense of the term, because I just want to be a better person, you know. And if you're talking about how much I curse, well, I don't call that cursing. I think cursing is wishing. The definition of cursing would be wishing horrible things to happen to someone else, wishing horrible things upon others. When I say the word fuck, I don't wish anything foul on others. It's just a word that I use to emphasize what I'm saying based on the mood behind me saying it. So when I say the word fuck, it is not of the purpose to offend anyone. I just like to say the word fuck. So that has nothing to do with whether or not I believe being a good person has anything to do with Christianity or vice versa. Hey, bye, White Rose. It was nice talking to you. Thanks for joining the chat and thanks for being sweet and respectful. I really do appreciate. I'm not even being sarcastic. I absolutely do appreciate that. You were very kind while you were here. You were a lot nicer to me than I was to you, but I do appreciate it. Now what do I? Okay, now let me be a little bit more honest and face a little bit more truth about myself here. Is uh, I definitely got a little bit more passionate about what I was saying, um, and I can justify that. I can justify that in my own mind. I can justify that because I feel like White Rose was being very patronizing, even though she was being respectful, even though she was being kind in her words. She was doing it from a place that comes from patronization. She was doing it from a place of being on a higher up than the rest of us, right? So so that's probably why I got a little heated in the way that I spoke to her. Um, but but yeah, I'm not apologizing for that, and I'm not taking it back. So fuck it. Okay, Ashley, yeah, Ashley, you got here late. This was the subject. I was discussing I was discussing matters regarding, I guess, organized religion. Um, the difference between religion and morals, I guess, is what it was. You know, I don't know how else would you fucking people describe it. I don't know, but I was just kind of thinking out loud because I was thinking about this pretty deeply, and I thought that I would share it, and I think about it a lot. And I'll repeat what I said at the beginning, Ashley, which was it's one of those things that might make you uncomfortable, but you weren't here for my disclaimer in the beginning. So, my bad. But I'm glad you're here. It's nice to see you. Hey, come on. Hey, AJ. Come on with the jabs. Let's she gets it bad enough from me. I feel like I let her have it, you know, I was honest with her, but I don't think I was mean. So I don't want to cross the line. If we can help it, I don't want to cross the line of mean when it comes to someone and their beliefs. I don't think that that's right. Oh shit. Hey, I don't know why she said that, you know, God has arrived and she must go. I don't know why she said that. But you know, whatever that means to her, I hope everything's okay. You know, I don't, but I'm hoping that it's just, well, God arrived and she's got to go. Yeah, AJ, don't worry. I love you anyway. I do. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Yeah, hey, and I gotta give somebody a shout out, man. So so um somebody emailed me, and I love when I get emails from you guys, man. I'm a big fan of that shit. I really am. Like, it always lights me up when I get an email. And so somebody in the chat emailed me, and she was so awesome. Um, and I don't want to call her out. She could speak up, but she said that because she likes to make things, I guess, and she likes to like, she's got her little glue gun and her little trinkets and whatnot. I'm not really arts and crafts kind of guy, but she said that she made me a little notebook to like jot down ideas and stuff and carry it with me, right? Um, and I thought that was the nicest fucking thing ever. And I can't get it because don't get mad, guys. I just I don't feel comfortable giving out a mailing address, you know, right? Just yet. You know what I mean? But what I'm getting at is I'm probably going to end up with getting a PO box because I didn't even think about it until that happened, and you know I think it's fucking incredible that she took the time to make me something, because I had that kind of impact on her day, and she made me something, and that's the kind of shit I'm talking about, man. That's the kind of shit when I'm talking about things to be grateful for. That's the just one thing like that happening in your day will make your whole fucking day. And and so I'm gonna set up a PO box, because I realize now that things like that can happen. When you have a, a small little following, and I want that little notebook. I'm not even trying to lie about it. I want that little notebook. So I think it's pretty awesome that somebody did that, and I want to go ahead and say thank you in front of everybody that you did that. That's the sweetest thing. Come on, Shannon. Look, Shannon, I love you, sweetie, but I hope you're being fucking funny. Can she send it to my work? Why the fuck would I give out the address to my job? That's the dumbest thing I could ever do. Amy, stop. Yes, yes, okay. I see that you meant it all right. But yes, yes, it was a gesture of kindness, and it was extremely thoughtful, and yes, probably Christ-like. Yes, yes, it was Michelle. Yes, Michelle, you were awesome. So I just wanted to tell you in front of everybody that I really really appreciate that. Sonny. So all right, let me see. So I'll go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about my day, and then I'm gonna go. Um, I'm what I'm dealing with right now uh, is I'm not like bummed about it or nothing, but I'm a little disappointed in myself because I went on that cruise and I fucking ate like a pig and I drank like an alcoholic, and uh, it was super fun and I had a blast and I would totally do it again and again and again and again. And there was a gym there and I didn't use it. And I swear I gained at least 6 pounds. I did. And then since I've been back, I haven't really, I have to diet drastically. I've been kind of doing what I've been doing like before the cruise, but that's not going to cut it because I'm not going to lose the weight. I was maintaining my weight and I need to lose that weight again. But today, I slipped a little bit. Like what I did was I had like a protein smoothie when I got in, but I hadn't eaten like the whole day. But I worked out a lot and I did the cardio that I always set myself to do. And I really felt like cutting it short, but like I just made myself get through it and do it. Like I wasn't loving it today, but the fact that I wasn't loving it and really feeling it made me accomplishing it way more rewarding, right? So yeah, that was so and and as soon as I you know got back, I smoked a blunt with my buddy. We talked a little shit. It was fun, and then I his mom told me that she made like chicken fried steak, right? Dude, like I was doing so good. And then like, dude, you don't tell me you made chicken fried steak. When am I not gonna eat it? It's fucking crazy. That's crazy. You don't not eat chicken fried steak. So I ate some chicken fried steak. But the rest of the day I didn't eat shit. So I think I burned a lot more calories than I consumed because I worked out really, really well today. So I'm proud of myself. I'm not disappointed in myself because I mean, if I had eaten Taco Bell, right? If I had eaten Taco Bell or eaten McDonald's, then I'd be disappointed in myself. That means I just fucking broke. I went and I fucking got the shit that was available and it was junk food and shit, and I would have felt really bad about it. But but somebody offered me chicken fried steak that they made, you know? I don't even know if it was really homemade. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was fucking delicious. It was good, you know? So I ate chicken fried steak with gravy and and but I ate it just a little while ago actually. I waited. What I did was I waited until I sat down and prepared for this broadcast, and once I had everything in line and ready to go, then I was like, all right, I'm gonna eat, then I'm gonna go live, and I got a bottle of wine, so don't judge me on that. But I'm off tomorrow, and uh, and I'm gonna be honest, I was a little nervous about talking about what we talked about tonight because it's a sensitive subject. But I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I lose more subs. Hey, it, shit happens. What are you gonna do? But you know, uh, I'm not real. If you haven't noticed, I'm not real worried about that. So, um, because if the chat fills up with a good, four, five, six people, if it does that, then I'm having a good time. If it's got two people, shit, you know, it was just me and Manon at first. I was straight with that, but I I'm so happy when I get to like talk with all you guys. It's really, really fun. And I love to see you guys talk with each other. Well, Manon, it's exactly what it sounds like. Chicken fried steak is exactly what it sounds like. It is steak cooked like fried chicken, basically. And then you put like biscuit gravy all over the shit, and it's fantastic. Like, yeah, AJ, it's the best food ever. I mean, and I ate some green beans too, so I'm not a total fucking savage, right? But it is the best food ever. Like, I think that um I don't know. I think that it's terrible for you, but it's fucking delicious. It is fantastic. It is delightful. Manon, I just told you, it's steak cooked like fried chicken. Have you ever had KFC? Have you ever had fried? Do they got KFC over in Australia? I don't know if they got KFC. Basically, it's breaded. It's breaded fried steak. It's like yeah, yeah. It's breaded fried steak. with gravy. Fuck yeah, Michelle, with gravy. Please believe me. That shit is good. Yeah, Manon, you gotta come to this. Yeah, you can eat it with biscuits. I wasn't gonna eat it. I wasn't gonna take it that far. I mean, the carbs and calories and biscuits, man, that shit. Yeah, yeah, Kathleen, true. You gotta die of something. I get it, but I'm trying to eat healthy right now, man. You know what I mean? Trying to get back in shape. You know, I'm going through a midlife crisis. Give me a break. Yeah, biscuits and gravy are good, man. Yeah. It is yummy good. Look at Amy's got puns for days. It's steak. Mignon. It's steak, dude. All right. There you go. Yeah, exactly, Irish. You cook it like chicken parm. It's just with different seasoning, and you dump fucking gravy all over it instead of marinara sauce and mozzarella cheese. Oh, AJ, that's sweet, man. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna call it, man. This was a fun live. I had a lot of fun, and I really appreciate you guys in the chat uh, joining in. So um, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna go on is, but we'll see, we'll see. But I will keep you posted. Maybe I'll like shoot a little short of some sort and post it or something like that if I get a wild hair up my ass. Um, but yeah, this has been fun. I'm going to drink a little more wine. I'm going to listen to some. Ooh, no, I'm going to watch Mindhunter. Yeah, watch Mindhunter. I'm going to finish the season out probably tonight, or I'll listen to music. I don't know. I'm off tomorrow, so I could like spend the day watching Mindhunter tomorrow. You know, as long as I go to the gym. But anyway, thinking out loud again. Um, love you guys very much, and I had a blast, and I cannot wait to do it again. So we will do this again soon, my friends.